Welcome. I say welcome to the head witch of Eastwick, Alexandra.
Yes.
Care for some champagne?
Certainly. I'm not going to drink it, but I like the way it looks.
You don't drink it?
No.
Tina Turner didn't drink it either. I hope Donna Summer drinks it later. I always end up with the champagne myself. Yes. Is this part in, the Alexandra part in Eastwick, is it much of yourself?
I think it was the easiest to play without doing any kind of research or changing. I think it's kind of close to one facet of my personality.
Mm. I think this movie is much of like a thriller, horror, comedy, if you could say that. And I heard that you and the two other female stars of the movie, Susan Sarandon and Michelle Pfeiffer, you fought about the roles. Is it true?
Well, no, Mish didn't fight about anything because she had her role from the beginning. And what had happened was that they had come to me months before and said that would I be interested in looking at the script. So I looked at it, and George was very strange. He didn't even want Jack in the beginning. He wanted Bill Murray, and he wasn't interested in having stars or his concept of stars in his movie. And so he really wanted me to play the Jane part, and I just said, you know, I don't think I could do a good job on it. And the studio, I guess, kind of forced him into doing it. And when it was Susan's part, and then they told me it's okay because Susan said she didn't care which part she played, and meanwhile Susan's in the Philippines, and when she came back, she was pretty furious. And we didn't talk. Susan and I didn't talk for the first 2 weeks. And then it was very difficult in the beginning of this filming for all the women. So
you didn't get along?
No, we didn't get along with the producer, and we all kind of quit on one weekend, independent of each other. We didn't know that we were quitting, but I kind of quit in front of both of them. I just said, okay, that's it, I quit. And Susan came up to me, and she, as a matter of fact, she handed me a beer, and she said, here, I think you're going to need this. And then she and I got a chance to sit down and explain to each other what really happened, because I think the producers thought that maybe we would both be so leery of each other that we would never talk, and we would go through the entire movie never talking. And it was quite a good thing because the three of us became very close. We never, I mean, there was, once we started the film, we were very, very close because we used each other for protection.
With all the film work you've done today, I mean, like Silkwood, like Mask, why do you think that people in Europe think of you as the Cher of Sonny and Cher, still today?
Well, I don't think, it's not a great body of work. I mean, you know, I have 2 films coming out. I have one that opened in America yesterday and one that comes out in December. And I guess between the Sonny and Cher years and films, people didn't know, you know, Sonny and I had a hit television show, a variety show where we did lots of acting, and I had my own show. So I guess the last time you even saw me, I was singing, and that was quite a long time ago.
What is most important to you today, singing or the movies?
That's like saying which one of your kids do you like better. You know, I like what I'm doing at the time I'm doing it.
Why did you take up singing again? Because it was movies for some years.
Well, it really wasn't my idea. There's a man at Geffen Records who just kept bothering me for 2 years. He kept saying, you know, you should go back into the studio. And I kept saying, I really don't think that I would make a good album. And he said, well, I'll help you. And he did. And once I actually got into it, I really enjoyed it.
And you really choose, I mean, a producer that is the superstar of heavy metal today.
Well, I didn't really choose him. He kind of chose me.
Yeah.
I mean, I met Johnny when he was a janitor.
Yeah, John Bon Jovi produced the record. Yeah.
Well, he didn't produce the whole record. He produced pieces of it. He wrote he wrote one song, co-wrote 2 songs, and he produced the new version of Bang Bang. That was his arrangement. And Peter Asher, you know, produced one. I had a few different producers. So now this year it's your witch year and your heavy metal year, or? Well, I hope it's my witch year, my heavy metal year, my lawyer year, and my Italian lady year. I mean, they all kind of are all coming together.
Yeah. You've always been very outspoken about your life. Is it? But do you really tell us all about you? Well, I mean, I have a theory that if you tell the truth, people will know less of you than if you lie. And so I really am much more into telling the truth because I feel like I'm really a private person in a very public way. And so it's easier for me to do that because then I don't...
it's a theory, but it seems to work for me. I get to keep more of myself if I just, if I answer the questions correctly or honestly. That's easy.
I heard you open a gym as well.
No, I actually help my friends open a gym, but I do commercials in America for a big chain of gyms.
And Paul Stanley works out at your
Yes!
house, I know. Paul
How do you
Stanley
know
from
that?
Kiss. I will tell you.
He's not the only person, actually. Who
No.
else works out at my house? Oh, Eric, damn it, why can't I think of his last name? Eric what? Eric Roberts, right. Eric Roberts works out at my house.
Yes,
and,
from Star 80.
Yeah,
yes.
and Dennis Quaid. I have quite a few little people that work out at my house.
You have done movies. You are a recording star. You do movies. You've done TV shows. Do you have any other ambitions?
I think I really don't feel driven now to do anything else. I think I might like to do other things, but I was really compulsive about making movies because it was so difficult. It took such a long time, and I feel pretty comfortable in a strange sort of way, because I don't think you can ever be comfortable. And if you work in Hollywood, if you work in film, if you work in any kind of entertainment, I don't know that you can ever be exactly comfortable, especially in America, because they kind of want to know just what's the last hit movie you were in, or what's the last hit record you were in or made. So you can never feel totally confident, but I feel very much like I'm getting to do the work that I wanted to do.
Sonny and Cher were, I think, the two first hippies in the world.
That's true. Well, we were the first noticeable ones.
Yes, they throw you out of hotels in Europe and so on. But then today you're a world-class celebrity, and you're famous not only for your talent but for your striking looks and your striking dresses. Aren't you still a rebel?
Well, I don't know. I guess I am in a way, only because I think that when you grow up in the 60s, or when you were influenced as heavily by the 60s as I was, even though at the same time I was influencing people, I was really being influenced by the big change in our country, or in the world, basically. And so it still bothers me, I mean, I'm not totally accepted by the movie people, and I have lots of friends in rock and roll, but I haven't really been into it in a long time. So I guess I'm still a little bit rebellious, because I just don't like people telling me what to do. So I still get into trouble.
Don't you think that the part, Jack Nicholson's part in the movie, was very suitable for him?
Well, yes, but I think it's suitable in a way that I might know that you might not know, and that is that if you're going to get anyone to play the devil, he was, I think, one of the few people who is sweet enough on the inside, because he always comes across cool, but I think that people don't get a chance to know how kind of very romantic and sweet he is, and really dear in a way that you just could never get by watching him walk across the stage to pick up his Oscar in his sunglasses, or watch him at the Lakers game. So I think that he could bring it off because he's really funny, and he really has a very compassionate side. Otherwise, I think that you might have gotten edgy, or you might not have liked the other one enough. If someone else played it, it might have been very difficult to pull off.
Well, try the champagne, please.
All right.
And let's get over to Eastwick.
Okay.